Hiya guys, this afternoon we're going to look at the longest running Matchbox diecast mould. When did it first start and when did it finish? How did it go through 4 different companies? And it's not the vehicle you think it is. Follow on. If you were to think the continuous production would go to the Peterbilt, you'd be close but no cigar. It did have the most varieties, however, of any Matchbox model. The cast we were looking for was shared by every one of these models, and it came in a variety of different disguises, making its way across 4 separate owners of Matchbox and manufacturers. This model would actually stay in production for an amazing 25 years, something not beaten by another model. Being initially designed in 1978, the articulated trailer found its way across 4 generations of manufacture. Here we see some of the differences in the trailer from the Mark 1 to the Mark 2, such as the extended tow ball on the front or 5th wheel connection, the addition of legs, extra drillings in the body to fit container bodies, box bodies, and different varieties. But essentially the trailer was the same casting right the way through, albeit small modifications through its service life. One of the major updates was by the 2nd generation, 1981, was the fitting of landing legs and the switching from a T-shaped 5th wheel to a peg and ball, which they used right up till about 2003. The 3rd incarnation of the trailer was introduced by Tyco, and it was essentially the same trailer as Matchbox, but it now had been made in plastic, an expensive retooling for such a short time. At the time though, Tyco took the opportunity to make new wheels. If we see the difference between the 2 years we look, you can see the worn out Lesney mouldings on the bottom and the new Tyco mouldings on the top. Some of the trucks, you can see a late DAP year, with the holes particularly wore out, along with the fresh new castings from Tyco. One of the things which was surprising with Tyco was when they switched to the new plastic chassis, they had to fit it with a new steel peg, as obviously the plastic 5th wheel peg would no longer take the strain. It was a large investment and a lot of money to an attempt to save money on production. But time they made the new molds and made the new tow ball to fit, it was very short-lived. The following year, Mattel would buy them out. So the Mercedes was really the shortest production of the modern fleet. Here you go then, folks. For your pleasure, I'm going to crack open this brand new original stock 24-year-old Matchbox Mattel Premier. A lot of the tooling came over from Tyco to Mattel when they bought the company, but using their experience in manufacture, they went straight back to the original Lesney trailer. They didn't want plastic on my trailer, thank you very much. Only steel is good enough for us. And when they rolled out the Premier range, they've done the best they could, and I mean the best. When you have a look at the exquisite detail now, when I bring this Peterbilt into the camera, she's a little bit out of focus at the moment because I got my macro lens on, you'll appreciate the quality, and I mean absolute quality, in the work Mattel done. Easily surpassing anything else they'd ever done themselves on their Hot Wheels. We're just going to drop the camera down now, as you can have a better look, and bring her in to the super zoomy lens. So here we go then. Now look at that. You can't argue that. That is absolutely stunning. Mattel really knocked it out the ballpark, and I believe they should do it again. I think they should do the same again with their modern range of trucks. Scrap the plastic ones they got, the convoys, and go back to the same scale on the original convoy and the same quality, because you can't beat this. Now, as you can see, I'm in a bit of trouble with the 5th wheel. Didn't want to press it too hard because it's now 25-year-old plastic on the ball hitch, and I didn't want to risk it. But you can see the detail here that Mattel have done. They've fitted now new rivets on the rear, new style, mud flaps, rear bumper bar. They painted in all the side markers, running lights, stop and turn lights on the trailer, headboard lights. I don't think there is any other area they could have improved on its original design from 1978. Look what they've done, folks. That is absolutely gorgeous. I've been as gentle as I can here because, like I said, she's brand new NOS. Didn't want to damage it, and of course now she's straight back in the box for the next 25 years until somebody is the next custodian of this gorgeous truck. But when you look between the difference between the two trailers now, between the Tyco plastic on the right and the Lesney metal on the left, you've got to agree Mattel made the right choice. They went back to the original trailer, and the results speak for themselves. It's absolutely beautiful. I think if they'd done anything else, they wouldn't have sold the product. So my hats off to Mattel, and I hope one day they do the same again. Not taken away from the Mercedes Actros, she is a little cracker. Right, back over to you, Mark.
So there you go then, guys. How Matchbox Lesney, one of their diddy little products, went through 4 major manufacturers, and in some cases, some believe it didn't finish production until 2005 on some of the special editions. It went through a major retooling, having a whole new plastic floor, etc. designed for it by Tyco, only for Matchbox to return under Matchbox International and refit it with a full metal floor, the original metal floor as designed by Lesney. So Mattel did know some good things when it needed to be. Even though those extra costs of Mattel doing it, they still went ahead and done it because they felt right for the product. Okay guys, next time we're going to be looking at TP26, I believe it is. We're going to be doing an unboxing, and that's the NYK Logistics long haul cargo container. We're going to unbox one of those because I got a couple in stock, and well, I say stock in my collection, I should say. And if you guys want to hit the old like, share, subscribe, and do all that fabulous stuff downstairs, that'd be greatly appreciated, because I want every view I can get at the moment. I hit my subscribers, I've hit the amount of views. I now try to get the hours up to get monetized, as I can buy better stuff in, better camera equipment, and do a better job like some of the big guys. If you want something a little bit different, pop it over to my other channel, Celtic Crossbows, where I do lots of things such as 3D printing and build guides and things like that on relays and survival gear. So I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks and bye bye.